Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis coming to you from the Drew Estate Studio. With me today is Seth Geis, and from the Pastania Studio, John McTavish. How you guys doing?
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Let's go.
Dude, and this is not a complaint about temperature, but
I thought we were going to
uh
complain about Bill Nye the Science Guy for a second.
no,
I was like, geez, man, what did he do now?
no. The temperature has so this is July, and normally, July in Calgary, it's like low 80s, maybe high 70s, low 80s. We're in the 90s. So like overnight, overnight can be like 50, but this like right now it's over 90 degrees. It's hot. It's hot. The air conditioner is booming.
There's some that say that we're coming out of a global cooling. So,
Yeah.
this is like kind of the tail end of the ice age. So
We're gonna
this is
we're gonna
just,
start growing oranges up here. That's all I'm saying.
Sacramento was 112 on Saturday.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
if Sevilla can't grow oranges, Calgary can. So they don't give Edmonton Oilers that orange color for nothing. It was foresight for the future fruit of the the province.
Look at the bright side, gentlemen. At least we're not in Vegas for the PCA right now, because it'd be 120 degrees and everything we own would be on fire.
Yeah.
It's a dry heat.
It's dry.
I still stick to this.
All right. So today we are talking about the Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust Umbagog Bronzeback. Cigar is kind of like a Corona Extra 5x48. Comes out of the Noxa factory in Nicaragua. Wrapper is a 2LS Connecticut broadleaf by unfilterable from Nicaragua. It is blended by Steve Saka. Price point is $9.75. Cigar was released in April of 2024. And with all that out of the way, Seth, what was your overall experience like with the cigar?
Listen, it's kind of, if you look at it from the appearance aspect, it's a little rough. There's nothing flashy to it, but I just kind of think that's what the cigar is. So you kind of have to accept that, in my opinion. But it's got a really strong aroma, really rich honey, earth. There's some chocolate notes. It was really nice. First third begins with some rich earth and tobacco notes, mineral spices. I was getting some dark chocolate. It's medium full, strength and body. Second third shows some like chocolate and coffee flavors. It still has that mineral spice, some red pepper and wood, medium full strength. And final third just kind of just really continues with that. Burn and draw are pretty solid. Yeah, John.
Yeah, good cigar. Started with tobacco, light spices that built up as it went. Kind of spicy wood on the post draw. I'd say medium, just a hair over medium. Like, Steve likes to keep stuff kind of at that medium range, and I think that's where this cigar is for me. A little bit of creamy spices in the retrohale, dark chocolate forming as it progressed. So a lot of complexity, given that the Umbagog series for me in the past hasn't really been like it's not supposed to be a meat burrito. It's supposed to be sort of a more affordable cigar. Ekes out a lot of complexity to that first third. Second third, a little bit of a change up, creamy earth, kind of a mildly dry wood in the post draw. Creamy tobacco and sweetness kind of fighting it out as it settles, and then medium spices kind of carry through, mix in with wood and earth. Really dynamic in the palate, lots of engaging flavor components, pretty tasty. Last third kind of started out the same way as the second third with creamy spices and earth and wood, but as it progressed, earth kind of took over the profile, so it wasn't quite as dynamic or layered, nuanced as the second third for me. Burn razor straight, no surprise there, considering what factor it comes out of, and draw was pretty perfect. So yeah, it's a nice review. Looking forward to this one from the show. So glad I got it on the books. Aaron, what was your review like?
Yeah, for me, the cigar started with toasted cedar, earth, and baking spice. Got a light smokiness that joined a bit later. Second third saw the baking spice mellow, and the earth took a slight lead in the profile. Then the final third saw the baking spice depart. I thought it had a good balance and kind of a nice flavor delivery for the start of the cigar. But as that baking spice waned in the second third, the enjoyment level kind of took a step back and kind of remained at that level the rest of the way. Just really wishing that first third could have held on a bit longer. I just don't really see myself coming back to this, but it's one of the more affordable offerings from Dunbarton. So good entry point. for the brand if people haven't smoked it before, so they could try this, and if they kind of are liking it, then obviously they can make a step up to some of the other lines. But yeah, just not something. The price point's not attractive enough to make me want to go for this over some of the other stuff in the portfolio. So yeah. All right, getting into the stores, we're going to start at the top with John at 6.82. Seth was Zach's at 6.07. I gave it a 5.85. So John, how that 6.82 matchup for you?
You know, my initial instinct is it seems high, but it's really not. Like that lines up. That makes sense to me. This is a cigar that almost broke into the sevens. So yeah, that lines up well.
All right, Seth, 6.07.
You know, looking back on it, I think I scored it a little bit low. And I'd like to, I think really looking at just kind of like the price and a lot of factors involved in it. The score may be like reflective of like, I don't know if this makes sense, like the cigar in general, but when you look at the price in that aspect, the price friendly aspect, I would say it's deserves to be higher, if that makes sense. The cost point when we talk about that, I guess.
Yeah. My 5.85 matches up well, above average flavor profile, pretty good construction, just, slight waviness in the burn, maybe slightly tighter draw, but no real issues to complain about there. But yeah, it gets it into the high fives, but nothing to make me want to come back to it. All right, final thoughts from you guys on this one.
So I got the opportunity to smoke a few of these from the show, and for people who aren't aware, typically show samples don't smoke well. I mean, we're talking Las Vegas. There is a difference this year because it's early in the year, so a little bit more humid, but still, a show sample that's been traveling for weeks, sat for weeks, largely unhumidified environment. Typically, it's not like they're sitting in Bovitas. It's not like they're sitting in humidor. A lot of show samples don't do well. This was kind of the show cigar for me, and I smoked the first one. I'm like, well, Steve can get that star in your eye. Maybe Steve's just convincing me because he's so charming or whatever. So I smoked another one, and I'm like, no, cigars like this is a spectacularly good cigar. So it's weird to me that now they're reviewing the released retail samples. I feel like that last third didn't live up to what I smoked at the show, because the one that I smoked at the show, based on what I smoked at the show, I was like, this is going to land in the sevens. So I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a situation where the cigar is new to the market, and if you give it a couple months, sometimes cigars, they ship and then they need to settle. So maybe this is the thing where the cigar in a couple months, that last third will come back. I don't know. I just know that I smoked a couple of these in the worst possible environment, and that was better it wasn't a objective environment, but like in my mind, I was like, this is a really, really good cigar. It still ends up being a very good cigar for the price. I just found that kind of funny. So yeah.
All right, wherever you catch this video, be sure to like and subscribe, but check out the full written review on the website, developmentpalace.com. Follow us on all the social media channels, and you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one.